So a lot of people are throwing this paper around. Very few people have read it. This is not unusual, but this paper from MIT, it's got a scary headline. MIT study, 95% of generative AI pilots fail to deliver business impact in enterprises. Lots of people are throwing it around. Lots of people are saying AI is dead. It's a bubble. It's all going to come crashing down. Look at this. 95% of it fails. Nobody's actually read it, and it's really hard to get hold of it. So go to mlq.ai. This is the easiest place to find it. Previously, to get a copy of it, I had to use the Wayback Machine on Internet Archive to get to the original paper from MIT, because they've now pulled it back and made it harder to get. I'm wondering why that is. Why they pushing this paper so hard in the media, but making it very difficult for people to get. Now, if you go to the actual MIT NANDA site, you need to fill out a Google form for them to send you a copy of the report. And I have multiple people in my community who have done so and not been sent that report. So it's like, why are you, if you're confident in your research, why are you not sending this to people? Bit weird. So go to mlq.ai. They have an archive version of it there. It's right at the top of the page right now. Otherwise, you can use the Internet Archive. You can use Wayback Machine and find it. It took me about 20 minutes to find it yesterday. Once I read through, I understand why they might be pulling back, because it's not very good. It's not a very good paper, unfortunately. So normally, if you've seen me talking about these things, normally I'll talk about sample size, I'll talk about methodology, etc. That's okay. The sample size is fine. It's 300 enterprises. It's not the most, but it's not tiny, because sometimes these studies are like, we talked to 6 companies and they don't like this. That's not a study, is it? That's 6 people. The big thing here is their definition of success. So they're talking about 95% of AI pilot projects fail. So it's okay. So what is success here? Success is, I'll read it to you. Here we go. The 95% failure rate for enterprise AI solutions represents the clearest manifestation of the Gen AI divide. Organizations stuck on the wrong side continue investing in static tools that can't adapt to their workflows, while those crossing the divide focus on learning capable systems. Okay. Generic LLM chatbots appear to show high pilot to implementation rates, 83%. Okay. However, this masks a deeper split in perceived value and reveals why most organizations remain trapped on the wrong side of the divide. So what's happening, and I've read through this paper, it's not very long, thankfully, it's only 26 pages, but what's happening is they are defining a successful AI project as a fully embedded agentic workflow. They've defined AI project very narrowly, and of those projects, not that many are working. Fine. However, they're finding that just giving the staff members access to ChatGPT, giving the staff members access to Gemini, Claude, etc., leads to huge amounts of implementation. The staff members are using AI at a grassroots level, but any productivity gains caused by using AI on a daily basis, the actual staff members, is not counted as a success, because that is not a pilot project. So it's only when it comes from top down, and the leadership have said, we're doing this pilot, we're going to get all the smartest people in the room, we're going to work out what the best way to use AI in our organization is, and then they've applied that within the organization. Only when they do that has it been considered a pilot project. And then all of the general usage of AI, which is arguably the useful stuff, all of the additional productivity gains, the time saved, the increase in quality from using AI has been ignored, because that is not a pilot project. So 83% pilot to implementation rates for generic LLM chatbots. So as if they are just using ChatGPT, 83% of those rollouts to get people using it have succeeded, because the staff members know that this stuff works. And there's also a big section about shadow IT, which is something I talk about quite a lot. Basically, if you've ever worked in a large organization, whenever there's a new form of IT that gets pushed out, just trying to find the shadow IT thing. Whenever there's a new form of IT that gets pushed out, generally it's coming from the leadership, it's coming from IT, and it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare for anybody who is in the organization, because it means a new password, it means new mandatory training. Terrible. It's not something that people want. With shadow IT, that happens when staff members start to use a piece of IT without it being sanctioned, without it being an officially top-down based project. That's happening with ChatGPT and LLMs like that. And this means that the company is not necessarily saying we want you to use AI, but the staff members are going ahead and doing it. We call it BYO LLM, bring your own large language model. It's an incredibly chunky and unhelpful acronym. So I'm trying to find out where the actual, let me find the shadow. Here we go. Shadow AI economy. So what's actually happening at the 300 companies that they talk to, 90% of the employees at these companies are using LLMs regularly. So they're using ChatGPT and other large language models, 90%. So nearly everyone. Only 40% of the companies in the study have purchased subscriptions for them. So it means nearly everybody, this additional 50% of people, that's shadow. This is people bringing their own chatbots to work. They're using ChatGPT on their phone or their laptop without it being officially sanctioned. What this tells me is that the staff members are finding AI incredibly useful on a daily basis. They're not necessarily using AI through the projects that they've been told to do, the pilot projects, but they are using ChatGPT. They are using these unauthorized LLMs to get their work done better and faster. So this whole paper, and again, I recommend you have a look at it, what it highlights to me is not that AI is failing, it's that the implementation, how businesses are going about AI is failing. Because what they're doing is they're trying to do it from the top down. They're trying to force AI into existing workflows from the top down with management and the IT department saying, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to automate, we're going to add agentic workflows, etc. And they fail. Most of those are failing. Surprise. Yeah, of course they are. If you look at non-AI projects and change management and when these kind of projects are pushed into large enterprises, I looked it up and around 70 to 80% of normal projects fail. So yes, there's an additional failure using these new AI tools when doing top-down projects, big pilot projects, but it's not that much. It's an additional 10, 15% failure rate, which considering the technology, as we know it now, is only 2 years old, is not that surprising, especially considering when technologies often take multiple years to roll out inside a particular industry. So the top-down pilot programs are not working. Okay, sure. But what's happening is at the grassroots, the staff members are using ChatGPT every single day. 90% of these respondents are using it. Only 40% of them are meant to be using it, but 90% are using it because it is useful. It's shadow IT. So this tells me more about the failure in implementing this. This tells me that the leadership in IT are trying to enforce AI workflows from the top, when instead they need to be talking to the staff members and working out, all right, what are you guys actually using this for and how can we support that? One, by buying them actual copies of ChatGPT so they don't have to use their own bloody accounts at work, but just helping them to work out how to use AI more effectively at that grassroots level and then capturing those productivity gains. So it's not about big flagship projects, it's about helping the actual workers in their business. That's not how they're doing it. But unfortunately, this paper is focused on those big flagship projects which are not working. That's not an AI fault. That is a leadership problem going on. So go ahead and read the article. Oh, hey, Andrew. Andrew has also done a great video. Sorry, I say also as if what I'm saying is valid. Andrew's done a really good video on this paper as well. Andrew, I'm just talking about the Gen AI divide, state of AI in business 2025. Which I'm not very impressed with, and I'm hoping more people will actually read because it's quite hard to get hold of. So yeah, go and grab a copy of it. It's at mlq.ai. It's on the front page. Have a look at it. It's 26 pages long. I think it's a failure of implementation. They're not listening to what their staff members are doing with AI, and 90% of their staff members are using AI. Instead, they're trying to enforce top-down projects on them, and they're not working. But that is not that surprising. So this paper, unfortunately, is being taken and the headline read and used to say AI as a whole is failing. No. It's something very different is going on. So please go and read it and form your own opinions. I know it's the hard thing to do. It's easier just to read the headlines, but hey, sometimes we need to read things. So I'm gonna hop over to, oh, hey, Simon Squibb. Everyone's here.